Hey, I'm Helen with Floating Yoga School. This is a flow designed around side plank or vasisthasana and many different variations or versions of side plank. It is early morning here on the island of Maui. Sun is rising over the mountain, Haleakala. I've got Kaalavi behind me. Hopefully you'll see some color shifts. This is a great shape to build heat, to build strength in your core, to build strength in your shoulders and upper body, and one that I really love to play with for fun transitions. So join me when you're ready in a child's pose near the back of your space. Knees can be wider together, big toes touch, hips toward heels. Relax your forehead down, stretch your arms in front, or if you prefer a more embryo variation, knees can be together, arms around your legs. Just take a moment here to arrive. And start to lengthen and deepen your breath. Find your slow, steady breaths in and out of your nose. And let your breath become audible, turning on Ujjayi, victorious breath. Begin to walk your hands over to the right. Left hand might stack on top. Hips lean a little bit left. And then walk your hands over to the left. Right hand on top. Hips lean a little bit right. Back to center. Bring your forearms down for a tabletop. So hips right above your knees. We'll take a little cow and cat from here. As you inhale, lift your tailbone, drop your belly, send your heart forward. Exhale, scoop round. Try to bring your head between your arms, chin toward chest. Couple more like that. Breathe in, just a slightly different variation of our cow and cat. Breathe it out, round. One more, inhale. And exhale. Back toward a neutral spine. Walk your feet back so you're in a forearm plank. Scoop your tailbone under slightly so your hips are in line. Strong core. Continue to breathe. There's a little doggy friend. Oh, it's going to do his business. Perfect. Notice what your breath is like. So already starting to warm things up. Side plank, like a plank, is going to build that heat and strength through your entire body. Maybe with a little bit more challenge since you're on one arm, one hand, one leg, one knee. Find one more breath in. And then Sphinx pose. Knees down, hips down, belly down. You might have to scoot your arms forward or adjust. Elbows below your shoulders. Pull your heart forward. Open up through your chest. Deep breath in. Exhale, elbows wide. Stack your hands. Rest your forehead. And pause here for a moment. Feel the ground below you. Breathe into the earth, your belly, your chest, expanding forward. And then breathe into your sides and your back. Feel that expansion sideways and behind you, getting into all the spaces, places, nooks and crannies of your lungs. Chin or forehead to your mat. Hands come at the height of your shoulders, elbows point up, tense your palms so just your fingertips are on, and then start to peel your chest off. I like my hands pretty wide. Little cobra. Exhale to lower. We're going to move like that with your breath. Inhale to peel your chest off the ground. Slide shoulders out of your ears. Exhale, lower down. One more big breath in. And breathe it out. I lied. Let's do one more. Inhale to lift. So we're going to hold at the top for this one. Dip your left shoulder and peek over your right. I'm not going to go too far. Still early. You find your edge. Inhale through center. And then dip your right shoulder and look to your left. Nice. Back through center. Breathe in. Lower down. Hands right below your shoulders. Press up through your tabletop. And then back to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Hips to the sky. And feel free to pedal out through your feet. Move a little side to side. Inhale, forward, high plank upper push-up. You can roll through your spine, really ripple it forward. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Lift your hips, send your chest toward your thighs. Knees can always bend. Twice more. Inhale, roll it forward, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe it out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk your hands back to your feet. So you're in the back of your space in a forward fold. You can find a ragdoll, take your feet a little bit wider. Bend your knees a lot so your belly comes to your thighs, and bring hands to opposite elbows. Sway side to side. Nod your head yes, breathe in. Shake your head no, breathe out, release any tension in your neck. And let hands release down. Walk your hands as far as you can right, send your hips a little bit left. I like my knees really bent here. And then walk your hands as far as you can left, send your hips right. Back through center. Knees stay heavy, tailbone heavy. So knees bent, roll through your spine, stack your vertebrae one on top of the next till you get to the top. And when you do arrive, a little shoulder shrug, up, back, and down. Breathe in, arms high. Right hand grabs your left wrist. Exhale over to your right. One more round of breath here. Back through center, inhale. Take it to the other side. Left hand grabs your right wrist. Stretch over to your left. And back to center. Inhale, hands high, look up. Exhale, cactus your arms, bend your elbows. Inhale, reach to the sky. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, hands down, walk them forward, find your high plank upper push-up. And then lower just your left knee down. We'll set up for a modified side plank with a knee down on your left side. Left foot pivots behind you or to the side, right foot to the back of your space, right arm reaches high. Think of stacking hips and shoulders. We'll set up really nicely here this first time. So every time we come back into a vasisthasana variation, that side plank variation, we've got that same setup. I personally like my hand a little bit forward of my shoulder so it's not directly below, because when I bring it below, it kind of feels like I'm jamming it into the socket. So this allows for some strength, some space. You find what works for you. Think of opening your top hip a little bit so it's nice and stacked. And then if you'd like to play, you can extend your arm over your head. Lots of space through your side. You can even float your foot. A little bit more core strength, a little bit more heat. One more breath in. Exhale, release. We'll move right away to the other side. So right hand, right knee comes down. Pivot your foot behind you. Left foot steps. Now you can see the back side. Find that nice stack. Notice where your hand is. Below your shoulder, a little in front. Notice how that feels and where you feel the strongest in your joints. We're all a little bit different. And while I think there are some general alignment points that we can all keep in mind, you got to do what works best for you. If you'd like, play with that extension, arm over your head. Back foot floats. Breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Hand down. Hands and knees. Walk your knees back just a bit. So you're in like a modified plank. Breathe in, shift forward. Breathe out, chaturanga, just halfway down. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. We're going to move like that twice more. Breathe in. Breathe out to lower. Try to keep shoulders in line or above your elbows so we're not dipping too low. One more. Child's pose. Knees can go wide again or together. Hips to heels. Reset, reconnect. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale to downward facing dog. Reach your right leg high, breathe in. Open up your hip, bend your knee, and explore a little bit of movement. Some circles with your ankle, bend and straighten with your knee, circles with your knee. Extend your leg long, full inhale. We're gonna step foot outside your hands like you're setting up for a lizard pose, and just pause here. Notice how your hips feel, what's going on. One more breath in. Big step up, so you're in a wide-legged forward fold, top of your space. Can be a little awkward, roll with it. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, bend your left knee, left fingertips below your palm, right arm to the sky. Think of really drawing your right hip back, and then roll your top wrist, both directions, and big circles in your top arm, both directions. Release your hand down, lift halfway, breathe in. Switch sides, right knee bends, right fingertips below your face, left arm high, left hip draws back, left wrist circles, both directions, and then big arm circles. Release your hands, heel toe your feet in toward each other, hip distance or touching, halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Stand tall, arms float high, big inhale. Palms together in front of your heart, exhale. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands down, step just your left foot back. Lower your left knee down. Hands to your right thigh, lift your chest, and then gently send your hips a little bit forward. And just breathe here. Slowly release, hands down, carry your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Knee to nose, exhale, shift forward, round through your spine. Inhale, leg high. Tap your right elbow or shoulder. Back up, breathe in. Cross it to your left elbow or shoulder. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, replace your foot. We'll swap out sides. Left leg high, breathe in. Open up your hip, bend your knee. Maybe some movement here. Explore all the joints in your leg. Where can you offer space with your breath? With a little pause. Re-extend, breathe in. Left foot's gonna step outside your left hand. Let your hips melt a little, find space. And then big step up, right foot outside your right hand. Halfway lift with your feet wide. This time we're gonna come into a malasana squat, heels in, toes out. Sit as low as you like, and you might have to adjust your feet. You may not be this low ever, or this early in your practice. And if you are super flexible, see if you can find a little bit of a lift and engagement. Drawing pelvic floor up, inner thighs toward each other, creating a sense of support. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, forward folds. Feet can stay wide for now. Halfway lift, breathe in. Folds, breathe out. Walk your hands over to your right and then over to your left. Back to center. Heel toe your feet in toward each other so they're hip distance or touching. Lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, relax it down. Stand tall, hands high, big breath in. Palms together in front of your heart, breathe it out. Reach your hands high. Exhale, cactus, your arms open up. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands behind your back. Either reach for a cape or interlace your fingers depending on what's accessible. Open up. Let your throat open. Breathe into your chest, the front of your shoulders. And then keep your clasp or release. Bend your knees, belly to thighs. Fold forward. If your hands are still clasped, just find that gentle stretch. And slowly release hands down without slingshotting them. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold, right foot steps back. Lower your right knee down to your mat. Hands to your left thigh. Find that lift in your chest and a gentle lean forward, getting into your hips, inner thighs. hip flexors. Hello, rooster. All the animals today. We'll release hands down. Left leg floats up and back, three-legged dog. Knee to nose, exhale. Inhale, lift your leg. Tap your left elbow or shoulder. Back up, breathe in. Cross it over to your right. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, replace your foot. Lower your knees back down. We'll revisit our side plank we found before. That supported variation on your left hand, left knee. Right foot back, right arm high. Option this time to stay. If you'd like a little bit more core, really press into your back foot. Really lift through your hand and see if you can hover your bottom knee. Maybe it stays just hovering. Maybe it comes in front. Maybe you play with extending bottom leg forward. Wherever you are, you're great. Full breath in. Exhale, release, swap sides. Right hand down, right knee down to start. Find that setup, the space. If you're gonna play with floating your right knee, really press into your left foot, ground down, hover your knee, or extend your foot. Big breath in, and exhale, release it down. Back to high plank, upper push-up. Feel free to take that variation with the knees down. Shift forward, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale, halfway or all the way. Up dog or cobra if you went to your belly. To downward facing dog, hips high to the sky. Deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, make some noise, let it go. Again, breathe in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward to your hands. Exhale, step or hop, top of your space. Halfway lift, lengthen. Forward folds, release. Rise up, reach up, arms to the sky. Palms together in front of your heart. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Hands to your heart, sit a little lower. And then just breathe here. Find some strength through your legs, your belly. Open up through your chest. Think of squeezing shoulder blades together. Find that strength in your upper back. Weight is going to go into your left foot. Right knee is going to come up, one-legged Tadasana. Into a warrior three. Palms stay at your heart, or if you prefer, arms forward, out wide. Find that strength in your back leg. Deep inhale. Big step back as you exhale. High crescent lunge. Reach your arms overhead. Full breath in. Exhale, lean forward, sweep your arms back. Twice more. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, hands float back. And again, breathe in. And breathe it out. Plant your right palm, lift your left arm to the sky. Back knee can always come down for more support. We're going to transition to side plank here, vasisthasana, on your hand and your back foot. So right heel pivots flat. Left foot is going to step back. Could be a couple steps like me. Feet can stack. Feet can stagger. Forward or back with your top leg. Try to take your hips high. Remember, your bottom knee can always go down. Find that setup. Lots of strong core. Maybe your arm extends. Bring weight, pressure into your fingertips so it's not all just dumping into your wrist. You can always lift your top leg, a little bit more extension there. You can play with a tree pose with your leg. You've got 2 more breaths. And when you've had enough, release. Find your way back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Again, inhale. Open your mouth, release it out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step or hop to your hands, exhale. Halfway lift, lengthen. Fold, release. Stand up, reach up, hands high. Palms together in front of your heart, exhale. We'll take our second side, weight into your right foot. Left knee comes up. No, let's start in that chair. Let's sit low, hands to heart. Let's come into it the same way. Thought I'd mix it up, and then my brain said, no, we need some symmetry. So find that depth in your legs. Turn on the back of your legs, really press into your heels. Lift your low belly, open up through your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Find your breath. Weight into your right foot. Now we'll take that one-legged Tadasana. Left knee comes high with you into your warrior three. Send your foot back. Strong through your legs. Full breath in. Big step back, high crescent lunge. Reach your arms overhead. And pause here for a moment. Breathe in. Exhale, lean forward, hands sweep back. Twice more, inhale, reach. Exhale to lean. Again, inhale. And exhale. Hold here, breathe in. Left palm plants, right arm reaches. Find your twist. And then know where you're going. Side plank vasisthasana, outer edge of your left foot. You can always drop your knee. You can always drop your top hand to find that step back. You can join me a couple awkward steps. Or maybe it's smooth this morning. Stack your feet, stagger your feet. Play with variations, arm extending, leg lifting. Whoop. Tree pose. This side is definitely my weaker side. Breathe, breathe, breathe. One more full round of breath. And make your way back to downward facing dog. Through a flow, skip it. A child's pose if you'd prefer. Reset. Lower your knees down. Find your tabletop hands and knees. And come back to forearms down like we did when we started. That little cow and cat with forearms down. Lift your tailbone, drop your belly, send your heart forward. Exhale, scoop round. Head between your arms, really bring chin to chest. Twice more. Back to neutral. Walk your feet back to your forearm plank. And we'll set up for side plank on your forearm. I personally like to take my arm at an angle about 45 degrees. You can decide what feels best for you. We'll start left. Right arm reaches high. And notice how this might feel different. A little closer to the earth. Maybe a little less pressure on your wrist. But I'm feeling a lot of obliques. A lot of shoulders. And I'm noticing I might scoop back a little bit so my shoulder is not quite over my elbow. It might feel a little bit easier or more supportive. And then switch sides. And just like you've been doing in your regular side plank vasisthasana with your knee down, with your knee lifted, you're welcome to play with variations. Extend your top arm. Lift your foot. Tons and tons of options. We explored a few of them. We'll have to do a part 2 with more, spending a little bit more time getting open. And we'll lower down forearm plank to Sphinx pose. Open up through your chest. And then stack your hands, elbows wide, rest your forehead down. Shimmy your hips a little side to side. Windshield wiper your legs right and left. Release your feet down. Right hand is going to reach back for your right foot. Gently draw it toward you. Left hand forearm can be in front of you. You can always extend or lift. Just finding a little stretch there in front of your right leg, and then you might kick back like a half bow pose. Left arm extends, left leg lifts. Lower down, swap sides. Draw your left foot toward you first, finding a stretch. Right arm wherever it feels comfortable. And then kick your left foot back. Right arm and leg can extend. Awesome. Release it down. Child's pose, embryo variation, knees together. Round your spine to reset, arms around your legs. And then up to your hands and knees, tabletop position. We'll find a thread the needle, starting left arm high. Thread under, drop your shoulder, your head. Right hand can stay, reach or wrap. If you'd like to play, extend your right foot behind you, toes on the ground, or as long as your right palm is planted somewhere, out in front or by your face, you might extend your right leg. Kind of like a funky variation of your side plank. And then we'll lower down. Unthread left arm out and up. And release. And then swap. Right arm to the sky. Roll your wrist. Shoulder down, head down. Left hand can stay, reach or wrap. And same thing, once you felt good in the twist, for me I like to stay with the knees down to start. That kind of feels like I can really get into upper back. Then I might play with extending left leg or even floating. Hips are kind of more in line here than stacked. Although if you like to play with stacked, just watch that you don't roll over or do. As you've had enough, knee down. Left hand by your face, unthread, right arm out and up. Release, let's find a puppy pose. Hands forward, chin or forehead to your mat. Keep your hips nice and high. And gently walk your hands back in. Come onto your back. However you'd like to arrive there. Knees into your chest, some rocks side to side, circles in the sky. Figure 4, left ankle over your right thigh. Press your left thigh away, or if you'd like, draw both legs in toward you. Breathe here, 3 good breaths at least. And slowly release. Swap sides, right ankle over your left thigh, press your thigh away. Same option to stay or start to hug it all in. And as that feels even, release, knees to chest. Any last shapes or movements you'd like to take. Happy baby, a twist. And then get yourself set up for a little shavasana. Find stillness and a sense of groundedness. Allow your body to feel held and supported. And if you'd like a little bit more time, please feel free to stay. Otherwise, start to find little wiggles, movements, reawakening your body. A full stretch. And make your way up to a seated position, eyes soft or closed. Pausing for a moment. Thank your body for all that it does for you. Thank yourself for making the time this morning to move, to breathe. And bring your palms together in front of your heart. Thumbs come between your eyebrows, keeping this connection you created, body, mind, and spirit, and carrying it with you off your mat into everything else you do. We'll gently bow our heads together in silence. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope to practice with you again soon. As always, please like, subscribe, share, add your comments. Let me know if you have any requests. I'm always adding more classes, and I'll be sharing some more pose breakdowns and other fun stuff here, so don't be a stranger. I'll see you soon.